smoking a ditch in this video. Bernie 2024. So is Bernie Sanders running in 2024? There was recently a memo put out by a couple of Sanders campaign staffers, particularly his former campaign manager, Faz Shakir. They put out a memo basically saying that Bernie Sanders hasn't ruled out potentially running for president in 2024. Now, if he does that, he would be challenging the current incumbent Democratic president, Joe Biden. Now, is that worth doing? Is that a fight that's actually winnable, actually attainable? I actually believe so, and in some ways it's going to become abnormal to not speak about primarying Joe Biden, to not have a primary contest take place. Biden's numbers have plummeted all the way down to record lows, all the way to the point to where I can confidently say right here, right now, he will not be re-elected president of the United States. Bernie Sanders is the most powerful politician in the United States right now. His endorsement carries the most weight out of any other politician, and he's just the most popular figure right now. Now, how is Biden this weak? How is he this susceptible to a primary challenge? Well, as I've been saying for months and months, his poll numbers keep plummeting, his approval rating keeps plummeting and keeps going down. His approval rating is now in the mid-30s, mid to low 30s. Joe Biden is now entering unrecoverable territory. That's territory that you don't just come back from unless you're a once-in-a-lifetime type of politician like Barack Obama, but Joe Biden is not that. He's a shell of his former self, actually. And Bernie Sanders, he isn't just the most youthful candidate, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, he is the most popular figure in the whole entire United States. All his policies are the most moderate policies because they universally affect everyone. And to no surprise, we're seeing him float the notion of him possibly mounting another presidential campaign bid, which I would full heavily support, undoubtedly. They certainly aren't going to run Kamala Harris. She's way more unpopular than Joe Biden is. And in fact, she's the most unpopular vice president in modern American history. She's more unpopular than Hillary Clinton, just one of the most unpopular political figures, point blank period. So they're not going to run her unless they really want to be embarrassed. Would he actually win a primary going against Joe Biden, against an incumbent president? Well, I am one to believe he could, and he wouldn't just have to outright win a couple of the first primary challenges that first come up. All he would have to do is come in a strong second place, basically create cracks within the infrastructure of the incumbent. He doesn't have to just outright win the first primary or first primaries, come in a completely close second, a race that's extremely close, one that would signify being complete solidarity behind Joe Biden. That would signify that. But it's already being signified now for the simple fact that, like I keep saying, his poll numbers are horrific. They're horrible. This is why the Sanders campaign staffers have floated this memo, because Bernie himself is thinking about running, and they probably want to see if his poll numbers can actually increase. Now, Bernie's poll numbers increases as we get closer to the midterms as well, because he's going to be going around the country doing a lot of campaigning for lots of progressives. He's already going around the country now working on his proletarian union movement, fighting for the rights of workers and people to cultivate a union within the workplace, to fight for benefits and just human dignity. He's going around doing that right now as I speak. He's literally doing that, creating movements, campaign rallies and speeches, speaking on behalf of these folks. So he's already organizing a massive proletarian movement in this country that's happening at business after business. It's happened at Starbucks, it's happened at Verizon, it's happening at Amazon. It keeps happening. That didn't just happen overnight. That took some time. It took years and effort from the Sanders campaign. Bernie Sanders himself, like I said, going around on a pro-union, proletarian tour, just going around to different facilities, workplaces around the country, corporations around the country, mobilizing the voters, mobilizing the people to actually get up themselves, do something themselves to create the change that they want to see in their own lives. He's helping them do that. Cultivate a union within the workplace to fight for basic workers' rights that they deserve. Now, he's already mobilizing people to cultivate the movement that they want, to create the America that they want, the type of work environment that they want. He's already mobilizing folks to do that. On top of him getting ready to go around the country, campaigning for progressives around the country, electing them all up and down the ballot, because this is when you really get that progressive push, that progressive mountain, good conglomerate of progressive candidates to get into office. Whenever the Democrats are basically about to get fucked, or whenever you know there's just going to be a change of the party in terms of Congress, this is where you do that, because you're able to get out neoliberal, pro-austerity Democrats in districts and seats all across the United States. You're able to get them out, and you're able to present to them not merely the democratic message, but a working class message. A message that would resonate with the working poor, the barely middle class, a message that would resonate very well. Fighting for things like Medicare for all, the right to cultivate a union, $15 minimum wage, expanded public education. Could Bernie Sanders actually mount a contest against Joe Biden? Well, let's go back in time. Before they decide to pull the rug and have all the candidates drop out and have them endorse Joe Biden all on the same day, before they decide to do that, just that juggernaut of a mountain that Bernie just couldn't get past, like I said, the South, once the South came into play in terms of the primary, I said if he does not win the South, he would not become the next Democratic nominee, and I said that. And I'll still say that right now, where we're at in terms of the current state of America, the current conditions of America, the climate of the political atmosphere right now. Joe Biden is a very weak and susceptible target right now. I can see no other way you just have to primary him. He cannot be impervious from this. Bernie had won the Iowa primary, and then he won the New Hampshire primary. Now, Iowa, he won it, but the way that the rules and the way that the things were set up for that contest, they did it in a way to where they could just flat out say, well, Bernie didn't win. He came in actually second and Pete won. But no, Bernie got the most votes, so he actually won. Tricky situation, they had set it up there, but that's what actually happened. And then he actually won the New Hampshire primary, and then he won Nevada. And he was winning contests to where it started to frighten the media industrial complex. It started to frighten the establishment. It frightened the centrists, the neoliberal pro-austerity Democrats all across the land, the deep state. It scared the living shit out of them. It just did. The same thing's gonna happen again, except this time, it will probably be a little bit easier because he's just going straight up against Joe Biden from the very beginning. This is where it gets interesting because with an already weakened Biden entering the primary, and with voters having a malevolent type of syllogism of him after going to the polls voting, it might not pan out too well for Joe Biden. And that same scenario were to happen again, this time it's just Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden. Well, by the time we get to South Carolina, the narrative will be that Joe Biden is getting ready to lose. The same thing that was happening in 2020, the same exact thing, same exact scenario until the South started voting Super Tuesday when South Carolina and all the Super Tuesday states went all in the South. That's what saved him last time, all the older black voters. Now, it'll be interesting to see if those same black voters, if they save Joe Biden again, even though they have a malevolent type of syllogism of Biden right now, a rancor vibe about Biden right now, he's effectively doing nothing to change their life, their everyday life. While Bernie Sanders is going to be talking about things like cultivating a union within the workplace to get you the workers' rights that you rightfully deserve, the human dignity that you deserve in the job, Medicare for all, expanding public education, doing all these things. And then you have Joe Biden talking about incrementalism, talking about doing nothing. We'll see how that pans out for the president. I think Bernie should do it. I think he should challenge Joe Biden definitely because we still have a long way to go, obviously. And yeah, it is a slither of a chance of a possibility that Biden could recover, but I'm not one to believe that. And in fact, I think things will get worse before it gets better for Joe Biden in terms of numbers to where it'll be undoubtable that a primary will take place. I'm one to believe that. I'm one to believe that. So, you know what they say, third time's a charm, and what better way to do it, what better opportunity? I see it no other way. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. Peace.